I'm Guy Kestivan, the Tester Man, and you're about to get Rickrolled. Because this is the tyre that's never gonna drag you down, always gonna speed you up, rarely gonna slide around and hurt you. It's faster than a racing Ralph, more grip than a Thunderbird. Schwalbe Rick's my XE go-to. Right, that's quite enough of that, but I have to say, Schwalbe Rick is a tyre I've been using now for best part of 9 months, and it has proper blown me away. So let's get this horrible coat off, and I'll dig into the details in a slightly more sensible fashion. Right, so let's dig into the basic stats. For a start, the name. A bit confusing, I thought, since they introduced it, and I'm pretty sure most people thought this when they launched it at Eurobike last year, it was called the Rick XC. But actually, if you go on the Schwalbe website, it's called the Rick, but with an XC Pro Carcass, because XC Pro is the new Carcass that replaces Super Ground and Super Race. And it's basically the same. It's a combination of both of them, though, again, Schwalbe won't quite tell us exactly what that composition is. But anyway, it gets rid of the confusion that was previously with Super Race and Super Ground, where some Super Ground tyres, although they're meant to be tougher, were actually lighter than some Super Race tyres. And the two overlap so much that it really didn't make any sense. And the good news is, this XC Pro Carcass is absolutely excellent. It seems super durable. I mean, this tyre has had a lot of use, and it's just getting a few kind of baldy patches on it in places there, and the other one's the same. Just a few little bald patches on it, but in terms... Oh, there we go. I think that's the biggest scuff patch. It's obviously clipped a rock there and got a bit of rummage. But yeah, it's incredibly supple, beautiful ride quality, and that gives it a real... It's just a really nice blend of kind of feeling sort of firm enough to feel fast and give plenty of support even at low pressures, but also really compliant and fluid, so it gives you way more grip than you'd expect. And also, to be honest, dodges damage a lot more than you'd expect as well. I've been running 3 of these tyres now for, like I say, probably best part of 9 months, and other people have used them as well. And the only issue I've had in terms of puncturing was the rather public one when I pinch flatted in the Lee Quarry XC race. And that was on the 225, which was the skinnier tyre. And I hit a bloody great boulder, so... Yeah, it's you know, they are a relatively light race tyre. Everyone said, oh no, you need something heavier duty at Lee Quarry, and they were right. So, and you know, once I got a couple of dyno plugs in it, it's still going fine anyway. So, yeah, tough, and God, this is completely out of order as normal. But one of the reasons that it's slightly more pinch resistant than you might expect is that intermediate tread there, that is specifically, and the ribs in between it, that is specifically placed not just for grip, but also to put a little bit more rubber at the point where if you're taking a vertical impact, that's what's going to get squeezed against the rim. So that may be part of it. But otherwise, weight, 726 for the 225, and then the two 2.4s I've weighed, 176.8 and the other 772. So should we call it 770 grams between frames? That seems reasonable. And again, comes in speed grip, which is actually this one with the blue band on it, or speed. And the only real pain in the arse, apart from the fact they don't come in 27.5, but who uses that for XC racing anyway, is that you only get speed grip in black, but you only get speed in this transparent gum wall. So, if, like me, you'd really like to run speed grip on the front and speed, the faster one on the rear, you're going to have mismatched sidewalls. And everybody knows that's an absolute no in terms of making your bike look good. So, if Schwalbe, I mean, to be honest, I don't really need any other sizes. It is a genuine 2.4, comes up at 61mm on a 30mm rim, slightly narrower, as you might expect on a 28, but I think it's still 59mm even on 28 there. So it's a great size, it's a full size, it rolls really nicely, it's got a great feel, but if you could just make it so I can have the different compound in the same colour, that, cosmetically, would be marvellous. And the only other thing I was going to say, they're quite expensive, but as usual for Schwalbe, if you fish around a bit, certainly on the German websites, you can find them at a very reasonable price, considering how durable they are. I mean, you can see that's probably nearing the end of its life now. You can see that centre tread. That's worn down a lot. I took it a fair way down to the nubbin, and then my mate Jonty's been doing a lot of miles. I'm talking hundreds of K on this tyre, and that's kind of finished off the centre tread. But as you can see, this speed grip one, which has been used more as... I've been using this as a real trail tyre. I've not even been using it as an XC tyre as such, which gives you an idea of just how durable and how surprisingly grippy it is. You can see still plenty of grip on there. And, you know, it gives you a bit more detail. You've got those little squares in the centre, you've got the intermediate, and then a slightly bigger side knob. Again, it's very like a Racing Ray in terms of the side knob angles. It's more of a sort of lateral rather than inline, but just hangs on. I mean, that's the real thing that makes this tyre outstanding, is how grippy, how sure-footed and trustworthy it is. Even in the wet, even in like slippery conditions that you'd think this would be an absolute suicide note to stick on your bike, this has just been remarkably glued down and reliable all the way through winter. I've run this tyre, or its sort of more heavily armoured brother, the legendary Schwalbe Rock Razor with those bigger Magic Mary side knobs on it, but essentially the same tread pattern otherwise. Been running those. I mean, the only reason I've run that really is because it's heavier duty and I'm running it mullet, and you can't get this in a 27.5, and that's a 2.6, which I think are pretty much extinct now. But if you find one, get one. Again, right, come on, let's get back on subject for a brief moment. But as well as that exceptional grip for the category, it's also one of the fastest tyres out there. And that's something I feel when I'm riding both of them. They're proper effortless. They're right up there with things like the Continental Race King and the Vittoria POT. A slightly bit slower than the Thunderbird. And I haven't used that much, but slightly bit slower than the Thunderbird, I would say. But the grip, compared to all of those tyres, which are just an absolute sketch fest in the wet, or even when you get them lent over. I mean, if you get a POT lent over, you're doing well, because there's a real leap of faith. It has got good side knobs, but it takes a proper leap to get over to those, because the intermediate is very, very loose, and the braking is non-existent. The braking on this, really good, really good. Driving on this, really, really good. And it's not just me and anecdotal evidence saying that these are quick. If you go on the Bicycle Rolling Resistance website, their drum work shows that these are a very fast tyre. And someone who I've just started following on Instagram, because they're doing great things with gravel and XC tyre testing, because now obviously these are gravel tyres as well. Now the gravel world is waking up to the fact that mountain bikes are basically faster. These are also big gravel tyres as well now. So if you can fit them in your bike, hell yes, would be my verdict there. But I've been looking at the work being done by, and I've written it down, but it's on sideways, John Carcass at FlexFit by John. He's been combining sort of virtual drum testing with roll down tests on all sorts of different types of gravel, and his own sort of anecdotal testing. And again, this Rick X, I nearly called it Rick XC, this Schwalbe Rick has come out very, very fast all the way through. I mean, challenging, genuinely challenging some almost, well, basically, you know, larger volume road tyres in terms of rolling resistance. And the chunkier things get, the better this tyre goes, which I think you can completely attribute to this excellent XC Pro Carcass that they're now using. So that's kind of it, really. I mean, I was hoping to get some time on the Continental Dubnital, which is obviously the new version of the Race King. And I've got the new Specialized tyres as well. I've got the new Air and the, I think it is still called the Fast Track. But anyway, I've got those. But kind of, they're in a very different category anyway, because they're a 600 gram tyre. Whereas this, you know, which is, you've got to be going some to use something that ultra light. That's a proper racers only sort of gamble tyre, even though the previous ones have been pretty tough. Whereas this, like I say, I've used it extensively, even battering around on the moors up here, Ilkley Moor, Stainburn, all sorts, without any issue. So I'm quite happy calling this not only a super fast XC tyre, But if we're still going to drag out the downcountry horse for another lap of the arena, then you could call it that, or just call it a fast trail tyre. And that's where this wins. It's exceptionally fast, but it's also surprisingly grippy and impressively tough. So yeah, that's about it really. Currently, although there are other tyres in play that I still haven't tested, this would absolutely be my go-to tyre, certainly on the rear for most of the year. And I mean, it's perfectly safe on the front as well, unless it's really, really sloppy or really, really loose. Then you won't have a nightmare running it on the front. And even if you do want a bit more grip, then obviously just team it with a Racing Ray or a Rocket Ron, depending on conditions. And Schwalbe are still, I reckon, if you're happy to pay for premium tyres, they are still ahead of the game when it comes to grip, feel, and rolling speed across their range of XC tyres. So, I hope that's been interesting for you. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe for more tyres and other testing, get notifications as well. And if you really like what I'm doing, having to go on Pop Idol doesn't seem to be an option, and karaoke's right out on a professional level. Give us a few quid a month on Patreon by following the link at the end. But for now, I've been Guy Kesterman on Guy Kest TV, Rick-rolling you with my favourite 29er speed tyre, the Schwalbe Rick.